OP? Tis the question to be answered in the video in front of you. Bro, why is every video got a different kind of loudness? Bro, my headphones is loud as hell. Let me turn this up for you guys then.
At first glance, beaches may seem like one of the most relaxed, casual biomes in the entirety of the game. But upon further analysis, it becomes clear that beaches are just as intense a battleground as every other biome. The fight for survival never stops, and so, of course,
The heck is that?
there have been a wide variety of strategies and builds
The heck is that? Oh, this is a seal?
that players have come
Why is it like got fur and then like no fur? Why is the fur two different kinds of
up
fur?
with to give themselves the best odds. In particular,
Oh, no, it's just shit, it's
beaches'
angles.
lack of plant cover makes stealth strategies less effective, which in turn creates an essential need for other ways of avoiding attacks from predators, especially aerial predators. Crustaceans in particular are at a pretty big disadvantage, as they don't have the best terrestrial movement speed
The
and
heck is
don't
that?
fare very
A
well in
fish?
single combat against birds. However, there is one build that has developed a unique strategy to give itself better survival odds: the hermit crab.
Hermit crab, indeed.
So, crabs as a whole aren't all that powerful. In fact, because of their extremely low skill floor, they're a bit of a noob trap, which is why you see so many cases of players speccing their characters into the exact same set of abilities, without ever actually becoming a dominant meta threat. Still, crab-like builds do tend to have decent base stats, particularly in the realm of defense and power. So with that in mind, you might be surprised to learn that hermit crabs
Damn, hermit crabs are got no abilities, bro. For they got let no stats, bro.
are well below the norm in both of these
Ew.
areas. Compared to similarly sized crustaceans, their crushing vice grip attack is nothing special, a little on the weak side in fact. And while most crustaceans have a tough, calcified exoskeleton that functions as sturdy armor against a variety of attacks,
Yeah.
hermit crabs are one of the few crustacean builds with a very obvious, unarmored weak point that can be attacked for massive damage. However, as you might have guessed, simply looking at the hermit crab's base stats is a bit misleading. The
Okay.
hermit crab's signature ability, Armor Scavenge, more than makes up for this weakness, as it allows the hermit crab to significantly boost its stats to levels that would be otherwise
Ugh, they're so gross, man. They really are just insects of the sea.
unattainable. The stat this ability's effects are most
Oh,
concentrated in is
okay.
defense.
Okay, so you're telling me a swap in shell can increase your power? Increases your defense to the max? And give you ultimate stealth? Oh, no, ultimate stealth. Pretty good stealth? Damn. Okay.
While the hermit crab's defense stat is one of the lowest in the game when unequipped, as long as they've managed to secure a nice shell, their defense jumps to one of the highest in the game, essentially matching the stats of the shell's original owner. The most desirable shells are those of snails, though clam and scallop shells can also do the job.
Ew.
As long as the hermit
Ew, why is his back so long? Ew, you saw that? Ew.
of snails, though clam and scallop shells can also do the job. As long as the hermit crab has found a shell to equip, it can block most attacks with ease. Normally, defense stats this high would require extreme investment of evolution points, and would necessitate some serious min-maxing in order to be viable. However, the hermit crab is able to maintain pretty well-rounded stats through the use of this ability. It's not just defense that can be buffed via the Armor Scavenge ability though. The wide selection of patterns and coloration available among different shells means that a hermit crab can pick and choose what sorts of environments they would like to receive a stealth bonus in. Smooth, lightly colored shells will offer bonus camouflage on the beach, while the darker, more jagged shells will offer better camo in reefs. Swapping
okay.
between shells isn't the only way hermit crabs can augment their stats to fit their playstyle though. The shells themselves can be augmented to boost certain stats even further. One particularly advanced technique is equipping sea anemones to the surface of the shell, allowing the hermit crab to deal venom damage on contact. This is important because the hermit crab's basic attacks tend to be pretty mediocre on their own. This isn't universally true, as the coconut crab, a variation of the hermit crab build, packs one of the strongest crushing grips in the entire game.
Okay.
Strong enough, in fact, that coconut crabs actually drop the Armor Scavenge ability once they reach a size big enough to rely solely on their claws for defense.
Oh.
However, this is an exception, and
kinda
also
cool.
something coconut crabs only unlock at high levels. Before that, their game plan is identical to regular hermit crabs, meaning these absolute powerhouses still rely on the armor scavenge ability in order to maintain meta relevancy. Upgrading the hermit crab stats with good shells and add-ons can make or break the viability of the hermit crab build. Unfortunately, securing a proper shell is becoming more and more difficult in the current meta. In part, this is due to the acidification of the ocean, which is a huge nerf to the viability of snails because it causes their shells to partially dissolve. And with less players spawning in as snails, this in turn means more competition for their shell drops. But on top of this, choosing a good shell is getting harder due to an influx of plastic garbage polluting all the best looting areas. Now, while hermit crabs are adaptable, and in some cases can even turn
Damn, they really going through it. I ain't gonna lie. They is going through it.
this into a win, plastic shells simply are inferior to the calcium shells dropped by defeated gastropods. But when the resource pool is constantly diluted with these low-quality drops, it's hard for builds with low intelligence like the hermit crab to consistently separate shell from trash. Ultimately, this is not a problem the hermit crab mains should be subjected to. And to be honest, compared to other beach-dwelling builds, hermit crabs have it pretty good. The abundance of garbage on beaches can be hugely damaging to less adaptable builds, and something needs to be done. This is why I joined Team Seas, an initiative started by some of the best creators on the internet. Our goal is to remove 30 million pounds of trash from the ocean, and to do that, we need
W add. I'm gonna let it run. W add.
your help. It's quite simple, really. Each dollar donated equates to 1 pound of trash deleted from these biomes, which is quite a lot of trash when you think about it. I mean, that's like 50 water bottles. There's a link in the description of this video that you can click on to either donate or read more about the plan's specifics. But you can also just tap this fancy new donate button if you're trying to speedrun your conservation efforts. Tierzoo will also be donating to the cause, so I hope you'll join me in giving hermit crabs as well as dozens of other beach-dwelling builds the buff they deserve. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, good luck out there.
Tierzoo video. Like always, we'll see you for Tierzoo next time, guys. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.